Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 561. We're getting close to that 600 mark, Mike.
Yes, sir. Going to make that this year.
Yes, sir. Hey, this is the Garden City Community Chat Show. It's Thursday, January 27th, 2022. We're so happy that you could join us tonight. We hope that you're staying warm and doing well.
Yeah.
I am your host, Kerry. Also joining me tonight, Garden City's very own meteorologist, Dr. Tom Iwinski. Tom, how you doing?
Trying to stay warm like everyone else is not an easy task.
No, it isn't.
No.
And let's remind everybody, you're just the messenger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So take all that hate mail somewhere else.
Right. Hey, and last but not least, former Garden City Councilman, also currently serving as president of the Garden City Kiwanis, and longtime resident, Mr. Mike Jones. Mike, how are you?
I'm excellent, Kerry, but I'm getting better. Thanks.
You staying warm?
Yeah, I could use a little more heat.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I bet Richard's loving this, huh? Ooh.
Oh, yeah, right.
Oh, geez. Your ears have probably been ringing, huh? Hey, tonight we're excited to have with us recently appointed Garden City Councilwoman Stacy Karafotis. As you recall, she was appointed after Mayor Pro Tem Kelly Kerwin stepped down. So tonight we'll see how her first couple of weeks have gone and much more. We'll find out. Also, Joe Bartley from J&J Taxes and More is back with another tax talk for you. It is that time of year again. Yeah. He's got some great information you may need to know before filing. But first up will be Doppler Tom with the frigid weather report for you. And then Mike's going to close out the show with some all-important community announcements. So stay tuned for that. But before we get to Tom, I wanted to mention on February 10th, our guests will be Terry Krausen and members of the Harmonytown Barbershop Chorus. They're going to be here. Should be interesting. They've been around since 1944, the group. And besides finding out all the great things they are doing, we also hope that they may even give us a sample of their singing. So we're looking forward to that. So put February 10th on your calendar. I don't know if they know anybody Holly, but hey, we'll ask them.
Yeah, well, Buddy doesn't really blend himself to barbershop music.
No, not really. So we hope that you'll be able to join us for that. That'll be a special night for sure. All right, grab your hot chocolate or your hot toddy and join us for the next hour or so. Remember, if you have any questions or comments and you're watching us live on Facebook, please go ahead and put them in the comments section. I'll get them up on the screen and hopefully get them answered for you. You can also text your questions to 734-788-9319. We also want to take a minute to thank all of you for listening and watching and your support every Thursday night, not only from our hometown of Garden City, but several of our surrounding communities as well. We really appreciate your support, and we'll always continue to promote our community and yours. And please continue to watch, share, and listen. Don't forget, if your community or organization has any events, announcements, or cancellations that you'd like to get out to our listeners, what should they do, Mike?
I would suggest they email us, Kerry.
Absolutely. Be sure to email the details to us at gardencitygcommunitychat@gmail.com or message us on Facebook at facebook.com/GCChat. And Mike will be more than happy to pass that information along. Right?
Absolutely.
All right. Okay, let's get Tom in here now with a check of the weather, and then we're going to spend some time chatting with our guest, Councilwoman Stacy Karafotis. So let's get that weather report. Okay, let's do a check on weather with Doppler Tom. Let's see what he has in store for the rest of this week and the weekend coming up. Tom, take it away. Put another log on the fire, man.
I know. Tell me about it. And there's going to be some changes in the air, ups and downs, and we'll get all into it because this is Michigan, and it's always changing, and it's going to be changing as we get into next week. But before we get into next week, for the rest of this week, we're definitely going to be in the same song and dance. I mean, tonight's going to be another cold night out there. Temperatures won't be as cold as the last few nights in the single digits, but nevertheless, they'll be in the teens for overnight lows. And a cold front is currently moving through the state, and it's going to be moving through our state over the next few hours. And with that, there'll be a round of snow that moves through. The snow will not be anything to really be really concerned about, because it will be moving through along the front, and it will be just snow that's going to be in the air. So you don't really want to be out there unless you like the snow and the cold, because it's going to be a fast moving snow moving through, and it will be a little bit windy with this front moving through. And this is just reinforcing the Arctic air that's already over our region. And there isn't going to be much snow accumulation because it will be moving through so fast. So don't expect any big snow event with this system, but it's just reinforcing our air. It's going to be another cold air mass, reinforcing the cold air mass that's in our region. And tomorrow we'll see some breakups of the clouds than they were today. It was overall just a cloudy day out there, and we'll only see temperatures in the teens for highs tomorrow. So again, another cold day out there with temperatures probably getting up to about 18 for a high. And then as we get into Friday night, we'll see those guys probably clear up pretty well. And with those clearings, guys, we'll see probably our coldest night of the season. And I'm saying that because we've been dealing with such cold weather, and we're going to see more of that for Friday night. And we'll see temperatures right around 0 for an overnight low. So yes, definitely another cold one out there as we get into tomorrow night. And as we get into next week, we'll see kind of the shift begin to happen. As we get into Saturday, temperatures will remain on the cold side. As we get into Saturday with more sun as well, temperatures will be in the teens for highs as well. But then as we get into Sunday, we'll bounce back into the upper 20s. So this is a little bit of a step up each day.
Heat wave.
And then as we get into Monday will be remaining into the upper 20s. And then as we get into Tuesday, we'll see temperatures probably around 40 degrees. So we're seeing a little bit of a step up each day with the temperatures. But unfortunately, all good things must come to an end, because this warm up, relatively speaking, won't last, because we're going to see probably a busy active pattern as we get into the mid portion of next week. As we get into Tuesday night, Wednesday, and into Thursday, we're going to see a bunch of systems moving through the Great Lakes, and we're going to see probably a winter storm moving through our region, and it's going to have a whole bunch of implications with it, because on Tuesday we'll be in the 40s, so that system moving in will probably start as rain, but then as it gets colder it will change over to snow. But then if we get a warm mix of layer up in the upper atmosphere, we could deal with ice as well. So it's going to be a fairly busy active pattern as we get into next week with the whole mixed bag of wintry precipitation. So stay tuned for that. It's a little too early to talk about amounts, but it will become more active as we get into Tuesday night, Wednesday, and into Thursday with rounds of wintry weather moving back in. But enjoy that Tuesday, because it will be dry and temperatures will be around 40 before the active weather moves in. So definitely going to enjoy that, because after that system moves through, as we get into Friday, after it quiets down, again, temperatures will be in the teens for highs and single digits for overnight lows. So fairly active pattern for winter is really moving in. I mean, yes, we've been dealing with rounds of snow the last few weeks. It's definitely been accumulating out there and reinforcing our winter look out there. But the good news is that we're missing a lot of the bigger storms to really speak of. These storms are substantial storms with a few inches of snow, and then they move out. But the other storms that have been affecting the U.S. have been fairly active out there, and there's going to be another one moving across the East Coast as we get into this weekend. And a lot of the places along the I-95 corridor across the bigger cities will see a pretty significant winter storm with over a foot of snow in some areas. So we'll count our blessings, and yes, it's cold. Yes, we deal with that in Michigan. And yes, that will be continuing as we get into the next few days and into next week. But if you want to keep tuned to all my local weather information, just go to my website, DopplerTimesWeather.com, and it will update you as our busy winter weather continues.
Yeah, we'll stay glued to that. That's for sure. Wow. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I want to say hi to a few people we have in there watching. We have Rob Cox is in there, the bearded realtor. Patty Fix is in there. We have Sandy Abraham, Jerry Thorne from Party Animal Travel. They are watching us from the Carnival Dream Cruise. I believe they're in Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, rub it in, Jerry. Let's see. Mayor Walker's in there. How you doing, Mayor? Tina Wing, Fire Chief Kathy Harmon is in there. Also, Lieutenant Steve Ray from the Garden City Fire Department. Always good to see you. He says it's all your fault, Tom.
I know it always is.
Ed Wilhite from Hog's Backyard Barbecue is in there. Great barbecue food. Mrs. Chat's in there. Sherry Lynn Bauer. Yeah, Rob Cox. Opal Loveland is in there. Thank you all. She is from Prestige Eyewear in Garden City for all your eyewear needs. All right, let's introduce our guest for tonight. She was recently appointed to the City Council. She is the owner of Lucky Dog Daycare and Boarding right here in Garden City, and also a longtime member of the Garden City Garden Club. Please welcome Councilwoman Stacy Karafotis.
Hi, everybody.
How are you?
Hi, Stace.
Good. How you doing?
We're doing great. You staying warm?
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is brutal weather.
It's pretty cold.
So, how's it been going your first couple of weeks on council?
Pretty interesting, actually.
Good. Before we get into the specifics of that, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, and you are the owner of Lucky Dog, where they're located, and how long you've had
Sure.
that.
So, Lucky Dog Luxury Daycare and Boarding, 2 blocks north of Ford Road on Middle Belt in Garden City, and Lucky Dog 2, which is across from Villa Bakery.
Right.
And that's our training facility. We have a retail store there. We sell lots of merchandise, toys, gear for dogs.
Mhm.
And I'm in the garden club. I'm the treasurer currently. I recently finished the Garden City University, which was very interesting, and also the Citizens Academy with the police department. So I've been pretty busy the last couple months.
Yeah, pretty busy. Yeah, the Citizens Academy, I went through the first one. Mike, you're doing it too now, right?
Yeah, we just wrapped it up this week with our last session. I would say that Stacy's 2 biggest achievements were getting appointed to that vacancy, which was only topped by graduating from the Citizens Academy.
Yeah, exactly. So why don't you go ahead and explain how you got appointed to the position of council?
Kelly Kerwin got offered a job for our court and decided to take that job. And then according to the city, she didn't have to give up her seat as the councilwoman, but chose to do that on the recommendation of Judge Hammer. So because of that, then it was the next person up, and I was the only other person that ran.
Right, and you ran as a write-in, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Awesome.
So it would have been the next vote getter, but there was nobody else.
Right. And then Pat Squires was appointed mayor pro tem, right?
Yep, she was the next highest vote getter after Kelly.
Okay. So do you have any ambitions of running again in November? Because this is just till
Absolutely. I
November,
picked
right?
up my packets yesterday.
Okay. So it will be for council or for mayor?
Well, I picked up 2 packets. I haven't decided which one it's going to be yet.
Okay. I got to ask.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was surprised to learn there's other people already picked up their packets, and people that I haven't heard their name before. So it was very interesting to find that out.
Well, it's good to see that people are getting more involved,
Absolutely.
There's going to be
How many seats are open?
It would be Randy's seat is open as mayor because he's retiring. 2-year seat for council, which is just me finishing out Kelly's seat. There's 2 more years left on hers. And then 2 4 years, which would be Mark Jacobs and Jaylee Lynch.
Right.
So 3 seats on council and the mayor.
Yep.
So Stacy, thinking about running for mayor?
Yeah,
Thinking about it.
Packets. You took 2 packets out.
Wow, that's interesting. Good luck.
Just never know.
Hasn't decided yet, so we'll see how it goes. It's no secret that you've been kind of vocal and critical of this city manager and the mayor and council. And now that you're on council and you've been briefed and brought up to date on a lot of the issues, has anything changed as far as that?
Well, I wouldn't call it critical. I would just call it a difference of opinion. I mean, everybody thinks their own way, and I just happen to think a little bit more outside the box or in a different way than our council and our city managers. So it's interesting. I got a big giant binder with, all the things that I need to know about the city.
Right.
My opinions are still the same. I think there's a lot of things we need to change or could do better on.
Right.
But I'm looking forward to working with the other council members and getting things done so we can change some things in our city.
So what exactly do you think you bring to the table other than new ideas? What would you like to see change?
Well,
or-
a couple things. I mean, a lot of residents have already contacted me, whether they emailed me or texted me or came up to Lucky Dog to talk about it. There's lots of things that have happened in our city in the last, 5 years that maybe could be updated. People are talking about the sidewalk ordinance. They're talking about the marijuana ordinances, what's happening with the flooding, the quality of the roads that we're having put in are just some of the bigger topics. Some other things that I would like to address are maybe animal welfare. We don't have a animal control in Garden City. Our police do a lot of it. Lucky Dog
Right.
does the majority of it.
Yeah.
So that would be something that a lot of people are interested in. I was appointed to Kelly's spot on the Lincoln Transit Commission.
Okay.
So
What does that entail?
I don't know yet. The first meeting I'm going to go to is next month. I do know what it's about. It's about the transportation for our seniors. So I've already started some research to find out, what we need to do to make that more affordable for them. So I think that when you're living on a very small budget of after your rent's paid only $600 or $700 a month, that's not a lot. So if we could raise more funds, our city gives $1,500 right now, but if we could raise more funds some way to make that almost free for them, I think that would be very helpful.
Yeah. Because it is. I mean, $3. I think one way or both $3, $6.
$3 one way, and it doesn't
Right.
matter if there's 10 people going to the same place. It's $3 for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, when you're on a fixed budget, that's takes a little bit out
If
of
you
it.
have doctor's visits, 3 or 4 times a month, or you have to go to
Right.
the drugstore, the grocery store.
Exactly.
It's a lot, especially when you think that they're coming from the senior towers, they're on a limited budget already. They're paying 30% of their income to rent.
Mhm.
You get your phone bill, your cable bill. There's not a lot left over.
Right. Mike and I are both on the Commission on Aging, and we'd like to invite you to come to the next meeting or whenever you're available. It's I know Pat Squires is our liaison, but you're welcome. to
Yep, I
come.
did talk to Sharon this week, and I would love to come to a meeting and just find out exactly what you guys do, because I'm all about helping our seniors.
Right.
At Lucky Dog, I deal with a lot of seniors from the senior towers
Mhm.
and other clients. So I'm pretty in touch with a lot of seniors in our city.
Yeah. I know the library, that's a hot button issue, and that's in litigation.
Yeah,
What are your thoughts on that? I mean, you care
we
to-
need to make it work. We need to somehow, some way, just make this work. We in my opinion, we shouldn't be suing our library. There's another way. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm going to figure it out.
So let me ask you, do you feel they are a part of the city, or are they their own entity?
Well, we know that they're their own entity in a certain form, but there's other things that they're required to do with our city. So however we want to handle that and decipher how this is separate and this is separate, there's still the Garden City Library. And we need a library, in my personal opinion. Not everybody has that same opinion, but in my opinion,
Sure.
we need a library. We need to find a way to get along with them. And we need to find a way to not sue our own, it's just taking taxpayers' money from one place and putting it in another place and paying a lawyer to do it.
Well, let's hope they can hammer something out. Were you gonna
I
say-
hope so. I think there's a lot of people that are very, I won't say one-sided, but just set in their ways. So I think that both sides need to just sit down and think about what's best for the library and what's the best for our city, and see if we can work it out.
Kim Martin is watching from Louisiana. Wow. Awesome.
Wow.
Thanks for watching. Appreciate that. Let's see. Also, Schoolcraft College, that's another issue.
That's a great thing, isn't it? I don't know if you
Yeah.
saw the meeting on Monday, but we voted to try and purchase that property. So that's going to be awesome.
That's going to be really awesome. Can you explain a little bit more of that or no?
Yeah, sure. The Schoolcraft approached the city. They wanted to sell that. They're moving their everything from Radcliffe Center to Livonia.
Mhm.
And so their offer was that they would pay for that to be torn down and sold to a developer, and they would put 64 houses on that property.
Ugh.
They wanted to pay for $1 million, $800 million, 800,000 or $1 million to tear the building down.
Mhm.
And then we would pay them back over a series of several years, almost up to 20 years. And then we'd start collecting the taxes. But there would be no reasoning for us to pay for it. It's not our property.
Right.
So during that, it was a public meeting 2 Mondays ago or 2 Tuesdays ago.
Mhm.
And we asked them, what's the problem? If someone's putting up 64 houses, they're being sold for $280,000, that's $18 million almost. How is that not put into tearing down the building? And they
Right.
said they really couldn't get a developer to pay very much for the property because there's no infrastructure, there's no water, there's no roads, there's no electric for that large property.
Right.
So during that meeting, I asked what they were selling the property for, and they said $175,000.
It's a
And we all kind
no-brainer.
of just looked at each other, and we thought 15 acres in that building for $175,000.
Yeah.
So our city manager asked if we were able to purchase it, and they said absolutely. So we went into closed session last week, which you're supposed to do when you're talking about purchasing property,
Mhm.
and talked about if that would be a good idea for our city. And our city manager's done a lot of research on that building already, the things that it needs or doesn't need.
Mhm.
And also we all toured that facility, and it's
If
in
I'm not
really
mis-
good shape. It's beautiful.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, they put like $1 million or $2 million into it.
They put a couple $1 million into it already. Yep.
Yeah.
So we would have our COVID money that we were going to use for Maplewood and hopefully purchase the property and make all those updates there that we needed. And it's going to be a wonderful place for our community.
Yeah. I think, it's definitely a no-brainer. That's for sure. So it looks like it's
Absolutely.
going to go through then?
It's just very early stages. We just decided that on Monday. So
Okay.
we're sure hoping.
Yeah, I agree.
To me, that's better than 64 houses.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're thinking of that would become the community center?
Right. Instead of Maplewood, the Radcliffe would be the community center. Correct.
Wow, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? Wow.
Yeah, it's very large. There's a lot of space there. There's already, we could always make Maplewood bigger. There's lots of agencies that we could help, and now we would have the room to do that.
Yeah. And then to do all the work Maplewood needs, I mean, that's not going to come
Exactly.
cheap, right?
Now would that place be in a replacement for Maplewood, or
Yes.
you move it, and then what would happen to that building, or you don't know yet?
We don't know. It's something we have to talk about, whether we would sell that
I live right
property
there,
or
so I'm
rent it
curious.
or what, tear it down or what. We haven't decided that yet.
We could put bleachers in so people could sit on them and watch Tom's decorations from across the street.
There we go.
Yeah, that's quite the light show right there. Hey, you
like that light
were
show.
kind of vocal on the food truck ordinance too.
Yeah, I'm hoping to bring that up again.
Can you revisit that?
Yeah, I want to just, as a resident, I am always calling Matt, the clerk, and bugging him, unfortunately, and asking questions. The last question I asked about that food ordinance was, what about hot dog vendors? We always have these hot dog vendors at all the DDA events downtown, like Lucky Squirrel.
Yeah.
And we're not supposed to. The hot
Really?
dog vendors are just in a tent with a table. They're supposed to be in a truck, according to our food truck ordinance. So
Yeah, like music in the
I think
park.
we need
I
to
mean, we always,
revisit that.
yeah, that would be good. Yeah, because the music in the park, we always had vendors there too.
Right. So you're not supposed to be selling any food without a truck.
Yeah, that needs to be looked at again, I think. And
Yeah. So I'm
tweak.
hoping that our council will have an open mind and just think, well, maybe we can make things better. We don't have to get rid of it, but we can make it better.
right,
You can always make something better.
exactly. Let's see. There's no questions in there. Oh, here's a statement from Stacy Abraham. She says you provided the towers with fresh fruits and veggies during the early stages of the pandemic. Many residents were so thankful for your help.
Yeah. Lucky Dog really is a Lucky Dog family, and I could ask our Lucky Dog family for anything, and it would show up at Lucky Dog within 2 hours. So one of
And
our
not to
clients
mention,
worked with.
you have the community garden there as well.
We do. Yep. So we always take those vegetables over to the seniors, but
Right.
we also have a Lucky Dog client that works for the county, and he had a lot of things that people just were not coming to pick up when they had food service. So
Wow.
he called me and said, "Can you use it?" And I said, "Absolutely." So we were getting milk and dairy products, cottage cheese, all sorts of things, fruits, vegetables, potatoes, carrots, just boxes and boxes of stuff. Sometimes he'd bring me 40 or 50 boxes that I could take to the towers.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah.
So yeah, he would bring it all to Lucky Dog and I would take it over to the towers, and they were very thankful for it.
Right, right. Yeah, mention the community garden. You're always looking for people to help out with that. They can come and weed or whatever, right?
Absolutely. And it's getting harder because once we plant it, we don't have any volunteers other than my 2 9-year-olds. So that and the butterfly garden too in Garden City Park, we're really trying hard to transform a couple different things in our city. And our club is growing a lot, and we're getting more volunteers. And I think this is going to be our best year yet.
But your garden club is also aging too, so you do need some younger members to maybe step
We
up.
are getting those younger members, and that's a good thing.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. So
Tina
more the
Wing
merrier.
says, what about sidewalks? Sidewalks too.
I've had a lot of people contact me about the sidewalk ordinance, and I've already started some research on it and have a couple ideas. I hope that our council will revisit that. I think it's a big deal. I've researched some things with other cities and what they're doing, and I am going to bring that up shortly to our council and see if we can get on the agenda for discussion.
What are other cities doing that are different?
Raising funds to pay for it so the residents aren't
Oh, so they're not
Using their-
saddled with it?
using their COVID money.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of other citizens or cities in our area, not far from us, that say they want a walkable city, and they've been working on it for a couple years, longer than we have. And so I want to bring that to the attention of our city manager and our council and see if we can incorporate some of those things.
Would sidewalks be part of the infrastructure?
Yeah, exactly. So that's something that you could use COVID money for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be getting some money, hopefully. So maybe we can put it.
Yeah, we're going to do good things with it too.
Yeah, then, you don't saddle the residents with all that expense.
Right. And there's other cities that are able to do that aren't huge cities compared to Garden City. So, we want to use every dollar we can to make our city better. So, maybe trying to get a little bit of that money for something like that would be great.
Sure, exactly. You were also not too happy with some of the business decisions made regarding businesses.
I think that
Making it.
our city we need to work hand in hand with the DDA. It seems like that's not happening at all. So the DDA is a big part of our downtown. Those businesses that I didn't want, that was just my personal opinion, that they wouldn't bring business to downtown, and that's my opinion. So that business, the banquet hall hasn't opened yet, but supposedly they have renewed their permits and are working on the inside. So we'll see what happens. You can't make people rent their businesses. We can't make them change their ideas of what they want to do with their own property, but we can make ordinance and do things to maybe give them a break or do something so we get some renters in here. I've talked to quite a few businesses recently that were considering Garden City, or were in Garden City for a short time and then left to go to Westland, and we need to figure out how to stop that.
Yeah, exactly. We don't want them leaving our city, that's for sure. And how many more cigar shops or cigarette shops or hookah bars are we're gonna need in Garden City? You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
That's what ordinances are for, as far as I'm concerned. So
exactly, and the council makes the ordinances.
Yeah, so hopefully they'll look at that. Mark Mukovitz, what's he have to say? Old Radcliffe Junior High for Community Center, much better than Old Maplewood Elementary. Yep.
Absolutely. You walk in there and it's so refreshing to see it. I haven't seen it in a long time, so it's very refreshing to see it well taken care of and looking
very nice,
new and bright. It's nice.
It is very nice in there. Yeah, last time I was in there anyway. Mike, you were in there not long ago, right, with the Kiwanis?
Their banquet center.
Yeah, we weren't there this year. We went to there was a conflict, so we went to the high school cafeteria for our Christmas party.
Right. So you'd like to make it a little more friendly for businesses, a little more easier for a business to open?
Yeah, I would like to make it more friendly. I know that when I talk to people that have left Garden City, one of their main concerns is it's like we don't have a full-time, we have a full-time building department, but the person who makes the decisions, Mario, isn't here full-time. He's here 1 day a week. So it can be very difficult to get things done.
Yeah. Yeah. That's tough too.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's an advantage that you opened up 2 businesses in Garden City, so you had that perspective from an outside point of view of what needs to happen and what needs to be improved. So I think that's an add way.
You had to jump through some hoops.
The other thing that I feel it's that all businesses are not treated equally here in Garden City. So I think some of those things need to change.
Yeah. We got another comment here. Cheryl Presley says, I know Lucy and Dino are so proud of their mama and are being raised by Stacy's example to be civic minded. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're very
good job on the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah. Lucy was not happy about that. Dina was all for it though.
Oh, Lucy wasn't happy, huh?
She's pretty shy. So she, afterwards she's like, you didn't tell us we had to go stand up there in the middle.
Mrs. Chat says, years ago, I was right there with you, Stacy, about the bright lights put up by some of our businesses. Did you see any changes?
Some of them, I know recently the cigar bar put up a bunch of lights and a lot of us complained right away. And that problem has seemed to stop. So I just think we need to do that with everything though. It's like, if I can't do it, then he can't do it.
Across the board.
It just can't be that, well, they're already doing it. You asked. So if you didn't ask, you could have done it too.
Yes.
And that's not the business person I am. I'm a rule follower. And if you make that rule, and if I call the city hall and say, can I do this? And they say, no, I'm not going to just do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So someone else just doesn't call and does it. And it's okay. That's not right.
Yeah. We can't have that. Opal says, Jersey Mike's opened in Dearborn Heights. Why not Garden City? How do we get businesses to choose us over neighboring cities? Well, that's the question.
And it is hard. So that's why I'm trying to talk to these businesses that I know have left.
Yeah.
Or I've recently heard, like I said, a lot of people have been contacting me. So the DDA definitely reaches out to businesses all the time. It could be a business that somebody calls and says, hey, I saw this in the city. How come we don't have it? Kim at the DDA will reach right out to that corporation or that franchise and say, hey, this is what we have available. Do you want to come to Garden City? So it's not like, nothing's being done, but we can't make people come here. We can't make the business owners that own those buildings lower the rent. We can't do that.
Right. Yeah.
So if the rent in Garden City is $300 higher for a small business, like in a storefront, of course they're going to go to Westland.
Yeah. Well, here's a good example. Jerry Thorne from Party Animal Travel was in Garden City for 30 years and his landlord wouldn't play ball with him. So he went down to Westland, just down the street. They gave him a 1 month free rent, and that changed his mind. He moved there.
Same thing with Amazing Signs that was over at Fort Illinois. That owner lives here in Garden City. His kids go to Garden City schools. Yeah. And he got another place in Westland that, number one, he went to Westland because it was much easier to deal with their building department for their permits, all those things. And his rent was a lot cheaper. And that's a Garden City resident with a Garden City business. I mean, I would never want to leave Garden City.
No. Yeah. Yeah. We have to make it more welcoming. That's for sure. And
I'm not sure how we do that, but I think if we, maybe our mayor can say, let's make a committee to find out what these other cities are doing to attract businesses, or if we find, some funds available to hire an economic developer, maybe even part-time. I think that would be very helpful.
Well, I know Westland has one, and but I mean, they're probably full-time, but like you said, even part-time would be helpful.
Yeah. We have a lot of our city departments are hiring, so the funds must be there. I mean, we're hiring in the Parks Department for a fairly good wage. So let's put that money or change some things that we thought we should spend money on that maybe we shouldn't be, and use it to do things that we need, like an economic developer or a grant writer or somebody.
Yeah. Well, I know the Garden City Business Alliance is always been trying to get new business in. I know when I was president, I would call businesses if I knew somebody was getting ready to open some franchises. Maybe
Yeah.
the DDA and the GCBA could work together and, come up with something too.
Yeah, anytime you see a business that you think, oh, this is a really cool business, we should get one in Garden City, call the DDA. Kim will reach out to them for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of them out there would be a great fit for Garden City.
There really is. I don't know if you saw recently, there was like a little campaign. Someone was talking about Trader Joe's.
Yes.
Going
Oh my God.
somewhere.
That was awesome.
So, everyone said, oh, they don't go in anywhere with our median income range, which is true. They're usually in places that they're about 10% higher than the median income range.
Mhm.
But they also said that they listen to people when they send in this form to their website. So I shared it. I think we got about 150 people to actually fill out the form and send it in. So they said they would give it a glance. I mean, even if it's a glance, it's better than nothing. Maybe they'll think about it if we do it again in a year.
Yep. Well, it's very disappointing what Suburban's doing with that big property there on Ford Road too that could be developed. They haven't.
You mean
moved
the
on yet.
Cadillac?
Huh?
Where the Cadillac dealer was?
Yeah, the Lincoln dealer.
Yeah,
was.
Suburban doesn't own that anymore.
Who owns it?
A company out of Colorado recently bought that within the last year, and it's a huge auto company that owns thousands of different dealerships across America.
So what are they going to do with it? Do we know? They're just sitting on it.
They're just sitting on it. It's probably going to be put to some use in the next couple months, and then sooner or later they'll probably put a dealership in there.
Oh boy. Okay.
What's going to happen with our fire department?
We're going to get a wonderful new fire station.
Yep.
And are they going to be moving temporarily to that spot?
They haven't
Possible.
solidified where they're moving yet, but they are looking.
Mm-hmm.
Because they'll have to be out of the building for a couple months. They obviously need a place that their trucks can be secure, that kind of thing.
And then you have the OK Mart site. That's
what I was just about to
vacant.
ask.
That's coming in spring. That's happening soon.
Yeah, that's what they say.
That's still scheduled to happen.
We'll see.
Yeah, I know they long time coming, but COVID really put a glitch in a lot of things. So
it did.
I think that the gym business is coming back, and obviously to come to Garden City and buy that property, they put a lot of research into it. If you're going to spend millions of dollars, you know that it's going to be successful.
Yeah. Mrs. Chat says, we need a marketing director, a paid position in the city. Yeah, that's true. We did discuss.
We do. We really do. Even if it's just part-time. Find someone that does grants and economic development. Perfect.
John Murray, he says, Radcliffe and Schoolcraft were create with my tax dollars. In as much the library should have the first option since the library's education option. Okay.
Maybe there'll be other options for the library if we move from Maplewood to Radcliffe.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could expand in the Maplewood Center with that millage they passed. I don't know anything about how that would work. So if that money's already going to that new location, I don't know how that would work.
It doesn't have to be the new location. It could be another location because they've already looked at other property in Garden City. So
yeah.
I was begging them to look at the church across the street from my house because that's for sale. So
okay.
Wasn't big
Opal
enough.
says looking forward to LA Fitness. I'm not so much, but yeah, I'm glad you are.
Well, they have the silver sneaker program, and I think it'll be helpful to have another pool, even though we have one at the high school soon. But I think that it's going to be a lot better than most people think. It's just not going to be another gym.
Yeah, I just don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I'll believe it when I see it. So,
well, let's hope 6 months from now you'll change your mind.
Yeah.
If not, then let's see if we can get someone else to buy that property.
Yeah, let's get some of those storefronts occupied, pay less, and all the other ones down by Hershey
all
Shoes.
those things. It's all about who owns that property and what they're charging for rent. There's really not a lot of interest. I mean, a couple of them are full, but they just don't really market that. You don't see anything in the window that says for rent.
No.
The DDA did have signs made, and tried to contact those owners and say, hey, let us put this in the window so people know. And they were like very creative signs that a local business owner created to attract people like, hey, this could be your next business. This could be your dream come true. And, we didn't get a lot of good feedback.
Yeah. Chief Harmon and Lieutenant Ray, axe throwing. Yeah, for sure. That's really become popular.
It is very popular.
Very
I know
popular.
a lot of
I'd
people
love to
talk about
see that.
Skateland.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that would be, I was hoping that that's what the old CVS would be, but now it's the furniture store.
Yeah, and they've been taking their time on that too as well. So
They're getting there.
yeah,
It's almost
they're
full.
getting there.
They got to finish the outside.
And what's the latest with the old Gold's Gym there? What's going on? They getting ready to open anything or?
Yeah, he's just kind of stalled a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's supposed to be like the MMA fighting with some restaurants.
Okay. All right. Well,
Two things we don't have in Garden City.
Anything else you wanted to cover?
Just that I really hope that we can get more residents out to the meetings so that we can hear their opinions.
Right.
I think that our council needs to concentrate on what our citizens want. They elected us so we can follow through with what they want, not just our own stuff. Like it's not our own opinion. It's what our residents want and what's best for the city, obviously. But more people come to a meeting, even if they don't stand up and talk, it just one person can voice their opinion for a couple people and say, hey, we were thinking about this, or we're distressed about this, or hey, you really need to work on this. Everybody saw someone that came up to the meeting last month that talked about trouble with the sidewalk sinking. He was actually speaking for a friend. So if you're afraid to come to the mic, ask somebody else, or send us all an email, or call the city manager. He's the one that can get things done.
Well, I know Cheryl and I used to go to him all the time, and then COVID hit, and we're still a little uncomfortable. I'm sure a lot of people are.
For sure.
COVID, but we watch it every council meeting. We watch it, and if anybody watches it on TV, there's your email address. They can email you their questions or concerns. Correct? And
yes, I know that some people get discouraged now that I'm on the other side of the table. Example: this past meeting, we talked about 3 ordinances that we were changing, and they just said, okay, this is the on the agenda, we're going to change these are the numbers. And then if no one had a question, that would have just been it. And if you're watching that meeting, you have no idea what we're doing. You don't know what those ordinances are about. You don't know anything about that. So I'm hoping we can be a little bit more transparent with some more explanations so our residents know what's happening. Right. Everybody seems like they were blindsided about the sidewalk ordinance. And obviously it was talked about at some point, but I don't think it's explained very well. And I hope that we can change that.
Yeah. And not having a local newspaper anymore, that really
a killer.
It's a killer. It is. It really is.
Yeah. So we're thankful for, your show. Opal's running that Garden City Gazette that anybody can put things on. It's very informational. It seems like our city Facebook page is getting more interesting, but there's still things like announcing that we have offices that need to be filled, the city council seats, the mayor's seat, that those packets are available. You have to the 19th to turn them in. I mean, why isn't that anywhere? Those things need to be told to the citizens so they know what's going on. It shouldn't be like you have to call every single time to get information.
Exactly. And any information you want out or the council wants out, just send it to me and I'll gladly share it on my Facebook pages. I have quite a few of them, and I'll put it on the show for you or whatever you want.
That would be great.
Okay. All right. I guess I will let you go.
All right. Well, anybody needs to contact me or has questions, please reach out to me. I'm always available at Lucky Dog. Everybody in the city has my cell phone number. Shoot me a text, whatever you need to do.
Well, thanks again for taking the time and being here. I know you're a busy lady, and we appreciate it. And please come back anytime, okay?
Okay. Thanks so much.
All right. Take care, Stace.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Very informative.
Yeah.
I think Stacy will be a nice change to the city.
Yeah.
She's a good addition.
Yeah, she'll be a good addition. She's got a lot to learn, and it sounds like she's willing to, and she's going to bring some fresh ideas, and we'll see how that goes for her. Right?
I didn't even know until the show that the mayor was retiring.
Oh, really?
So that just brings up like how they don't even acknowledge that that's happening. Like, I don't know a lot of things. That's why I just watch the meetings like you do. I don't know how this will go. So it's good to have her because she's been in the city forever. So I think it's nice to have her on the council finally. Sure.
And like she said, anything we can do, we will do it for sure.
You could have asked Tom. I could have told you the mayor was retiring.
Yeah. I mean, we all knew.
I'm at all these meetings.
You've
I'm
been,
too busy with this freaking weather.
yes, you've been watching the radar too much. All right. Yeah, good job. Good job. All right, just a quick reminder. I want to mention if you are a small business owner and would like us to feature your business on our show, please contact us either by email at gccommunitychat@gmail.com or message us on Facebook. And we'd love to have you and be a part of promoting your business for you. It also might be a great idea for you to check out and join the Garden City Business Alliance at gardencitybusinessalliance.org. Okay, before we get to Mike, just a quick reminder that the next city council meeting will be February 7th, 7 p.m. in the council chambers, and that's located at 6000 Middle Belt Road, right next to the police station. It's a good way for you to get involved and voice your concerns as well. So we hope to see you there. All right, Mike, are you ready?
Tax talk.
Oh yeah, let's do tax talk. Yeah. We'll do you after tax talk. So let's get Joe in here for tax talk. Here we go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tax Talk with Joe Bartley. So today, just wanted to touch on a couple items just to make your tax season a little easier for you and keep you out of trouble and keep you away from delays. Now, obviously, you want to safeguard all of your information. There's a lot of information that you're giving your tax preparer. So you want to make sure that whoever you're handing it off to is going to take good care of it, and nothing bad will happen. There's too much on there that could hurt you if it was used improperly. Now, just a couple things from a preparer's point of view. We must, as preparers, sign the return. That's a law. If we also have to have what they call a PTIN number, which is basically a number like a Social Security number, but it's on file with the IRS, so that we can file taxes and kind of that they can kind of monitor what's going on with that preparer. Now, you want to be really cautious of people or places that claim to make big promises. It's technically against the law for places to say, we can get you a bigger refund, or we can do this, or we can do that. You want to be very careful because sure, they may be able to, but then a year down the road, you may end up in tax court. So you want to be very, very careful and stay on guard with those kind of things. So when you hand off your information to your tax preparer, make sure you have all your information. Go through and recall any W-2s that you may have. If you've changed jobs, make sure you have them all. Also, any 1099s that you may receive that you have to claim. Any unemployment. A lot of people still are having unemployment, and unemployment is 100% taxable this year. There's no deduction like there was last year for it. It's also very important, and I think I've said it on every tax talk, to know the amount of the advanced child tax credit that you may have received if you have children at home. So that is on a form 6419, and that should have been mailed sometime this month to you. And that's important. You give that to your tax preparers. It's going to save you headaches in the long run, as well as the information on that third stimulus check payment that you probably received. Generally, it was $1,400 a person, but you want to make sure to have all that information. It's going to save you time and headaches down the road. The IRS is saying that they're severely understaffed, and any issues like that is really gonna put you behind. A normal e-filed direct deposit return, you will probably see that in your bank account within 2 weeks, as long as there's no hiccup. So watch the the quick refunds or things that they promise you. Those are loans. They're not from the IRS, and there's usually some pretty heavy interest and fees with that. So hope that helps make your filing a little bit easier, whether you do it with me or someone else. But I am available. Been here in Garden City, been doing taxes about 25 years now. I'm Joe Bartley from J&J Taxes and More. The best way to get a hold of me is through my email, which is joe@jnjtaxesandmore.com, or you can call me 734-523-8291. I do have a Facebook page, the J&J Taxes and More Facebook page, where you can get a little information here or there. So check that out. Give me a follow. Give me a like. I would appreciate it very much. If I could help you out, whether you're a client or not, shoot me an email. And if you have questions, and I'll try to answer it. Also, if there's something general you want me to talk about on the show, let me know. Let Carrie know, and we'll try to come up with something for you. Thanks a lot, and have a great week.
All right. Good information from Joe, as always.
Mhm.
Hey, I did want to mention that the February Garden City Marketplace is now out. You can pick it
Yeah, I
up
gotta
at
get one.
your favorite establishment. I know they're at GJ's restaurant at Ford and Vinoy. Also, Maplewood Community Center, the library, and
Historical Museum.
Yep. Straight Farmhouse Museum. Lots of places. So pick one up. And we want to thank Gail and Don Nicholson for putting that out for us. All right, Mike, here we go, buddy. Stand by.
Okay.
Me.
Yeah, me. Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. Yeah, that'll be
Okay,
the
it's
day
time for some
when you make me cry. You say you're gonna
Mike.
know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die.
All right. Sounds
What you
good.
got, Gary?
Sounds good, my friend. All right, here we go. First one. Volunteers.
Pantry needs volunteers, especially one volunteer to work at the pantry on Thursday mornings from 8:45 to 12:30, and one volunteer to pick up food once a month on any Wednesday at Gleaners on Northline Road, and bring it to Maplewood. You can call 734-793-1859 for more information. Home Pantry has baby food and formula for anyone who needs it. First come, first serve. Pick up at the front desk at Maplewood.
Yep.
And the Home Pantry needs donations of toiletries. Toiletries aren't being donated during the holidays, but they are needed. Items can be dropped off at the Maplewood Community Center. Tai Chi Wednesdays. Beginners 11:15 to 12:15, advanced 12:30 to 1:30 at the Maplewood Community Center. It will help you stay balanced.
Yeah, it's good for your senior citizens. Get out there and stretch a little bit. Keeps you in shape.
Cardio strength training, Saturdays at 9 a.m. at the Maplewood Community Center. You can call 734-793-1850 to register.
And we're still in the fire season. This is the last month.
Yeah, half of the home heating fires occur in December, January, which is almost over, and
Yep.
February. Remember to plug only one heat-producing appliance, like a space heater, into an electrical outlet at a time, and keep anything that can burn at least 3 feet from any heat source.
Yeah, I talked to Garden City Fire Chief Kathy Harmon tonight, and we're working on getting her on the show and do a
Good.
few fire shows, prevention, and
Nerf Wars, $15. Nerf guns, darts, and eye protection are provided. You can bring your own epic Nerf gun, but leave darts at home. This is going to be at the Maplewood Community Center for ages 7 through 10 at 11 a.m. on February 5th.
yes. Yes. Very cool.
Preschool playtime at the Maplewood Community Center gym. Fun activities, make new friends. Mondays, 9:30 to 11, $3 drop-in. Parents and kids ages 1 through 4 come, imagine, play, and create. Call 734-793-1877 for more information.
Yep. So
A
then
mom-to-mom sale. That's this Saturday, isn't it?
January 29th. Yes, I believe so.
At the St. Matthew Lutheran School and Church,
Correct.
5885 North Vinoy Road in Westland. General admission $1, early bird admissions $2. Doors open at 8:30 a.m. for early bird and 9 a.m. for general admission. It's going to run from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Yep.
A craft day at the Maplewood Community Center, $6, Saturday, February 5th at 11 a.m. Again, call the 734-793-1850 or visit the Maplewood Center.
Yep.
Joe D's presents Skip Cowan Annual Charity Broomstick Pool Tournament, celebrating a 17-year tradition in loving memory of Skip. It's on Sunday, February 6th. Registration is 12 p.m. and it's $25 per person. There will be food. There will be raffles. There will be 50-50.
Awesome.
Parents' Night Out, Maplewood Community Center. We'll watch the kids while you get a break.
This is
February 11th from 5:30 to 9 p.m. A pajama party edition, $10 a child, $5 a sibling. You have to register by February 7th. There'll be pizza, crafts, games, and fun.
Opal Loveland just reminded me of this.
A Valentine's Sweetheart Skate
Yep.
on February 12th from 7 to 8:20. It's $10. It'll be at the Garden City Ice Arena. Opal's another graduate of the Police Academy.
Yes. Yes. All right.
Spring Soccer Free Clinic.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday, this is my Garden City Soccer Club. Sunday, February 20th from 5:30 to 6:30. New players, ages 4 to 7. Garden City Middle School is where it's going to be located at 1851 Radcliffe in Garden City. Enter through the gym doors.
Yep.
Referees are needed. Be part of the game you love. If you're interested in becoming a ref, visit MichiganRefFS.org. Westland Chamber of Commerce is pleased to announce an exciting opportunity to showcase your business at the 2022 Health and Business Expo. It's going to be on Saturday, March 12th from 10 to 3 at the Westland Shopping Center, 35,000 West Warren Road, Westland. Expo features businesses, healthcare providers, nonprofit organizations. Reserve your space now and get ready to market your business in the comfort and convenience of Westland Shopping Center.
Okay.
An Indie Art and Craft Jam on Sunday, May 22nd and September 25th, presented by Creative Memories and Helium Studio. Garden City DDA is sponsoring this for local makers. There'll be live music. There'll be good eats. 5805 Central and Garden City in the northeast corner of Ford and Middle Belt.
Okay, that's all I have for now. Oh, I do have one more thing. Mrs. Chat wanted me to mention that in the Garden City Marketplace, they have a Garden City Garden Club Save the Dates, February 15th, 7 p.m. at the Straight Farmhouse. They have their monthly meeting, may include a guest speaker, a craft project, gardening tips, discussion on upcoming events, field trips, garden projects, and much more. They also have May 21st is the Garden Club Bake Sale, which will be at the Garden City Lucky Squirrel. And then July 23rd, you want to put this on your calendar, the annual Garden City Garden Walk. For more information, you can contact Cheryl at 734-788-1319. A lot of good information in the marketplace, so pick one up. You got
I gotta
anything,
get-
Mike?
I got a couple of things from the January marketplace.
Okay.
The Big Comedy Magic Show,
Mm-hmm.
Gordon Russ, January 29th, Maplewood Community Center from 12 to 1. $5 for a child, $2 for siblings. It's for all ages. Space is limited. So call and register.
Okay.
Let's see.
I did want to give our condolences.
Yeah.
Phil Stapleton had passed away, and his funeral arrangements are Sunday, January 30th from 1:30 to 7 p.m. at Santu and Sons Funeral Home. Funeral service is Monday, January 31st at 11 a.m. with visitation at 10 a.m. at St. Matthew's Church, which is located at 5885 North Vinoy Road in Westland. Lunch will follow. So our condolences to the Stapleton family. And
Yeah,
also,
I
those
got
of
one
you,
too.
yeah, those of you that knew Tappan Mary, she passed away. She was a icon at a lot of the music in the park and in Wayne over there at Gowdy Park. And she will be dearly missed. So our condolences to her family as well.
I got another one too.
Okay.
Ron Patterson,
Oh, yeah, Ron Patterson, right.
a longtime Kiwanian and realtor in Garden City, just recently passed away. I don't have any details, but
Okay. Yeah, if we get any, we'll pass that on.
Yep.
And yes, I'm being reminded, Opal and Kathy say 50 years of marriage. Congratulations. Yes, my wife and I, Cheryl, celebrated 50 years of marriage on the 22nd.
yeah,
And, it wasn't the celebration we wanted, but we'll probably celebrate and do something this summer, have a party or something outside. So stand by. But thank you all for the anniversary wishes. We really appreciate that.
yeah. Let me know when you get up to mine.
Yeah, you're up there, what, a couple years ahead?
Yeah, actually, we got married in '67, so this year will be our 55th.
Oh, wow. Yeah, congrats. That's good. Yeah, you don't hear many of that anymore.
No, you don't.
That's for sure. Well, we appreciate it. Let's see what else we got. We talked about the skate. Nothing else with Kiwanis, Mike?
No, there is a casino trip coming up in April.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It should be a lot of fun for anybody that's interested through Party Animal and what have you. So,
I think we got our tickets already. We're going to try and do that one. We'll see how it goes with the numbers.
apparently, they have a really fantastic buffet up there at the casino on Sundays, and it
And
should be quite nice.
And it's all non-smoking too, which is very nice.
Non-smoking,
Yep.
masks are required.
Yep.
Lots of activities will take place to help support Kiwanis on the bus on the way up and back.
Yeah, exactly. I got something. St. Thomas the Apostle, or St. Raphael, as though many of you know, they're having their world famous fish fry every Friday, March 4th through April 15th, 4:30 to 7 p.m. at 31530 Beechwood in Garden City. For more
Okay.
information, 734-427-1533. Join us in a safe environment. You must wear a mask to enter. Great dinners, friends, and desserts. Straight Farmhouse is having all kinds of events.
As always.
Yeah, if you go to straightfarmhouse.org, they'll have everything there. But February 9th, they're having Painting Glass, Tipsy in the Snow. Join us for an evening of painting as our artist Laurel will guide you through building a snowman. Cost is $30 with a portion donated to the museum for this fundraiser event. This class is for all skill levels. You're welcome to bring an adult beverage to enjoy. To register, you got to call or text Laurel at 734-752-3936. But go to their website, and they have a lot of events going on all the time.
Yep.
Let's see. Sandy Abraham says, thanks to Kathy Harmon for helping to get COVID kits and masks for the seniors here at the towers. Very good. Very good. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I want to try to pick up some of these masks. I went to Meyer, but I was a day late and $1 short, so I missed out.
I guess they're supposed to, within the next week, everybody's supposed to have them. So we'll see. I also applied for my COVID test, free COVID test online. So we'll see how that goes, just to have them, on hand.
Mm-hmm.
And, I did want to say a big shout out and thank you to the Garden City DPS. For those of you that watch us on Facebook or follow us, we had another water main break.
Oh, gosh.
And we had one in our ditch back in 2019, and it flooded so bad. It happened like 2:00 in the morning. Nobody knew. And it flooded all the way from our house down to Craig. I mean, it was like lakefront property. So yesterday we had another water main break in almost the same spot. They came out at 8 a.m. and they worked until about 5 and got it replaced, got it all filled in. They no sooner left 20 minutes later, my neighbor across the street is telling me, you got another gusher in your ditch. I said, you got to be kidding. I go out there and it's all flooded all the way down to Craig again. They had to come back and they worked on that until 4:15 this morning.
Wow.
Those guys, I'm telling you, they are the best. I don't know how they're doing it, but they earn every penny, let me tell you. In these
this time of year, those are got to be really terrible to deal with. With the weather, you're down in a hole in the ground and the cold and water. Oh,
yeah, they had the night lights out there. They were out there all night, and I guess they replaced 17 feet of pipe.
Wow.
17 feet, yeah. So kudos to them, and let me tell you, appreciate them for what they do, because they really have a tough job, especially now. They are the best. Yep, you're right, Kathy. DPS is awesome. Hard workers during such extreme conditions. Sherry Bauer, DPS is great. Yes, they are. Okay. We're always looking for guests to be on the show. If you or someone you know might be interested, it's very easy. Just contact us at gcommunitychat@gmail.com, or you can message us on Facebook and also text us at 734-788-9319. Doesn't matter what community you live in, we want to hear from you. During these times, we'll do the show remotely and safely from the comfort of your home or office. Maybe you own a business or belong to an organization and you would like to share your information with us and the surrounding communities. If so, contact us today, and we look forward to hearing from you. And Mike, with that said, I think we're ready to call this a
podcast.
1 hour and 12 minutes we're into. Special thanks to our guest tonight, Garden City Councilwoman Stacy Karafotis.
Did a great job.
Did a great job. If you'd like to contact Stacy, you can email her at karafotis@gardencitymi.org. That's KARAFOTISS at gardencitymi.org. She'd love to hear from you. So good luck to Stacy. Thanks to Joe Bartley as well from J&J Taxes and More. Remember to contact Joe at 734-523-8291. He is located at 29217 Ford Road in Garden City, next to the old Orange Jewelry building. You enter in the back. For all your tax needs, give Joe a call. Even if you're not a client, he will help you out and answer your questions. Also, a big thanks to my fantastic co-host, meteorologist Dr. Tom Iwinski, and Kiwanis President Mike Jones. Great job as always. Mike, any final thoughts before we go?
I just urge people to get their vaccinations and boosters and stay safe. Our hospitals are just being swamped with patients, and those people are doing a yeoman job there.
Now, I did hear that Henry Ford Hospital is on the downward upward trend a little bit, but
Yeah,
not
but
too excited.
it's it's still high.
It's still very high. But,
Yeah.
yeah, vaccinations are definitely required. Thank you, Ed Wilhite and Kathy. We appreciate it. Tell your friends to tune in and watch us. We would appreciate that as well. A big thank you to each and every one of you for watching and listening. We really appreciate it. Remember, this show will be available right after we sign off tonight on Facebook. So we hope that you'll catch it later at your convenience, especially if you tuned in late, by going to facebook.com/GC Chat or our GC Community Chat page. Also, catch us on our YouTube channel. Just search for GC Community Chat on YouTube. You'll find not only this show, but all our past shows as well. And please subscribe to the channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. We would really appreciate it. And as always, we continue to thank all the healthcare workers, first responders, police and fire, everyone on the front lines who serve and protect us every day. We can't thank you enough. Be safe. And we want you to know that you and your families are in our thoughts and prayers every day. And when you see any of these heroes, please let them know how much you appreciate them. We are praying that relief comes soon so you all can catch a break. Amen. Right, Mike?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Remember, the success of a community depends on the community. So please support your local businesses. And don't forget community unity. Let's be united and support one another. And please don't hesitate. Vaccinate. Get that vaccination. We really appreciate it. And let's see. Mike, if you see something,
Say something.
exactly, we have to look out for one another out there. For all your weather information, be sure to head on over to DopplerTomsWeather.com. It's got a great user-friendly website over there for your weather information. We will see you right back here next Thursday, February 3rd, live on Facebook. I don't know who the guest will be yet, but we'll come up with something. We usually do, right?
Yes, sir.
It'll be entertaining no matter what.
Yeah. Well, just being with you and me, Kara, has got to be entertaining, but I'm sure we can come up with something to supplement that.
That's right. So, hey, until then, thanks for listening. Have a very safe and wonderful rest of your week, and good night. Mike, take care, bud.
Yeah, you too, Scary.
All right.
Stay safe.
Yep.